Hebrews, Hebrews, Hebrews. This is Prophets of Awakening. It's our Sunday Advanced Bible Study, 19th of July, 2026. Okay. Our main topic we'll be dealing with today is Israel panics as the Democrats block the Messiah takeover. So we're gonna play that and we're gonna go into it and break it down. Okay. You can go to our YouTube channel, Prophets of Awakening. Uh, Check out our videos. We have over 1,000 or so videos that you can look at, examine, get the meat out. These videos will lead you to the truth of the Holy Scriptures. And if you like what you're hearing and receiving, I'm asking you to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Okay, it'd be greatly appreciated. And we have our Cash App at the bottom of the screen for those that want to support this channel and help the channel move along. That too will be greatly appreciated. Okay, for those that don't know, this is a non-Messianic channel. We deal with the Tanakh and the Torah. Tanakh being the Old Testament, so-called Book of Remembrance, from Genesis to Malachi. And then the Torah is the first 5 books of the Old Testament that was given to Moses by our Savior and our Redeemer and our Deliverer, the Lord of Hosts. Okay, and this channel was created to aid and assist all Hebrews who are waking up to their true identity in these last days, and also understanding who their Savior and their Redeemer truly is. Shalom and welcome to this channel, and welcome to our Sunday Advanced Bible Study. Okay, we're gonna do our normal, which is a moment of silence, prayer, songs. We have some current events, some need to know information, dialogue. Our topic for discussion, like I said earlier, the Israelis, so-called Israelites over in Palestine, they're panicking because of Democrats blocked the Messiah takeover. When I say Messiah takeover, I'm talking about U.S. and Israel was on the verge of merging their militaries together, and the Democrats decided to block it. So as of right now, they just blocked it. Okay. So with that being said, okay, yeah. With that being said, we go ahead and go to our. We'll pick a scripture and we'll break that scripture down, and then we'll close out. Okay. So this moment of silence is for the Lord of hosts and all that he's doing to bring about our prophesied deliverance in these last days. Oh Lord, we thank you for your great mercy and your great power and your wisdom. And we tarry waiting for your powerful deliverance of your people Israel. Okay. And we come this day doubtless that you will appear and that you will gather your nation from among these wicked Gentiles. Tarry not, O Lord, for the latter days are here, and we are waiting and watching for you. Peace be unto you. Okay. With that being said, uh, read the Psalms right quick. Okay. Okay, I'll read Psalm 4. It's evening prayer of trust in God. It's a Psalm of David. It says, hear me when I call, O God of my righteousness. Thou hast enlarged me when I was in stress. Have mercy upon me and hear my prayer. O ye sons of men, how long will you turn my glory into shame? And how long will you love vanity and seek after leasing? Selah. But know that the Lord hath set apart him that is godly for himself. The Lord will hear when I call unto him. Stand in awe and sin not. Commune with your own heart upon your bed and be still. Selah. Offer the sacrifices of righteousness and put your trust in the Lord. There be many that say, who will show us any good? Lord, lift up thou. Lord, lift thou up the light of thy countenance upon us. Thou hast put gladness in my heart more than in the times that their corn and their wine increase. I will both lay me down and peace and sleep. For thou, Lord, only maketh me to dwell in safety. So that was Psalm chapter 4. Okay, it's the evening prayer of trusting God. It's the Psalm of David. Any comments on that? Okay. So with that being said, we're gonna go to our current events. We'll play them like we normally do. Then we'll break the current event down. Okay. Okay.
That formed earlier. I'm meteorologist Jordan West with a quick update on the tropics. We are tracking Tropical Depression 2. That formed earlier this morning. It looks a lot more organized than it did yesterday, and there are tropical storm watches and warnings in place for the Panhandle of Florida. You can see the hurricane hunters flying into the system. They're going to do a few loops to try to find its eye and see if it's a tropical storm, and at the very least get more information and more data. More information and more data we have, we put it into models, a better idea of what could happen over the next few days. So current stats right now is moving north-northwest at about a mile per hour. Pressure is dropping slowly but surely. Max winds at 30 miles per hour. It'll become a tropical storm once maximum sustained winds are at 40 miles per hour. We'll keep an update on the current information with that. But here's a look at the cone of uncertainty. It will continue to be a tropical depression likely the rest of this evening and potentially becoming a tropical storm sometime late tonight or early tomorrow morning. Going to move north and west and then make a more westward track towards Louisiana. Now, this is going to meander in the northern Gulf off the coast of Florida and off the coast of Mobile, Alabama, and Gulf Shores for a while. So it could dump a lot of rain towards that particular area, but then it's going to move westward, and then it's Mississippi and Louisiana's problem after that. Again, this is a cone. The eye can land anywhere in the cone, so take this with a grain of salt. We're still a few days out. This could change with time as well, too. So that said, one reason it didn't look that impressive yesterday was because of all the wind shear out there in the Gulf. That's what's going to stop it from turning into a strong or significant hurricane. It may not even turn into a hurricane at all, simply because of how strong the wind shear is out there, and it's completely pulling that storm of time. Here's rainfall totals over the past 7 days, or the next 7 days, excuse me. And it's
so they got a tropical depression out in the Gulf, and as far as the cone, the direction it's going in, right now they have it coming to Louisiana, Mississippi, then hit Louisiana. So, okay. With that being said, let's go to this next video. I've been talking about the Gnostics and trying to break that down and how the Gnostics tied to Christianity. And I saw this right here, so I said I was going to play it. Like, check it out.
This is the history, but at the same time, what's happening is because the Levant is really the center of the world, it's a meeting place in the world, every single major religion is in the Levant. And Jesus is absorbing and trying to understand these different religions. Okay? So let's talk about the major religions. You have the Greeks with Plato. Okay? So let's remind ourselves of what Platonic philosophy is. Plato believes God is called the form of the good. From the good. And from the form of the good will emanate other ideas like reason, truth, beauty, justice. And then these will emanate physical manifestations called the forms. Okay? This is called the realm of forms. This is basically heaven. Okay? You can see this as heaven. We live in a shadow reality, which is just an imitation of the form of the good. And our objective in life is to study philosophy in order to return to the form of the good. Okay? Only mathematics will help us return to the form of the good. So I got this idea from the Egyptians, okay? And the Egyptians called this idea sacred geometry, mathematics. Because sacred geometry is a language and thought of the gods. Does that make sense? That's what it's Plato. Also at this time, because of the influence of the Persians, you have Zoroastrianism. Okay? Zoroastrianism. Remember, in Zoroastrianism, the creator is Ahura Mazda. He is the perfect god of light. and he creates a perfect world where we humans are free to choose whatever we want. This world eventually became corrupted by an evil God who is equal to a Zoroaster. Okay? And now we humans must fight for good. We can choose to fight for evil, but we fight for good that will allow good to win out in the end. Eventually will emerge a savior, a Messiah, a hero, who will lead the army of light into a final battle against the army of darkness. And in this battle, the army of light will triumph. And then will emerge a river. And then everyone who's ever died will be resurrected from the dead. And everyone will be forced to cross this river. If you've been a good person, you have fought for the truth, if you've been compassionate, you will cross this river and you will feel cleansed of all your sins and your mistakes. And you will emerge as a perfect soul who will live in paradise forever. But if you've been a bad person, okay, you will burn in this river and then you'll be condemned to suffering for eternity.
Right. So if you're listening to this, like I said, most of the stuff that's in New Testament is not coming. It's not coming from our records. It's coming from Buddhism, Gnosticism, and all that. And listen to what he's saying.
Okay, this is Zoroastrianism. Then you have Buddhism and Hinduism. Okay, and again, guys, remember this world is interconnected. So the Greeks know Buddhism very well, and the Buddhists know the Greeks very well. Okay, so and Jesus will have access to Buddhist and Hindu teachings. In the Buddhist and Hindu tradition, there's a true reality called Brahman. Okay, so think of this as a form of the good. We live in a false reality where we have to suffer in pain. But through our good works, through Dharma, we can achieve moksha. What is moksha? Moksha means liberation back into the Brahman. Okay, so Hinduism is very similar to Platonism. All right. At the same time, besides religions, there are also major philosophies that are roaming around this area. Okay, so you have Stoicism, which is what the Romans believe. You have cynicism, and you have Epicureanism. Okay, so these are some of the major ones. Cynicism is what Jesus believed, which is the rejection of all material reality. Okay, cynics believe that it's important to wear bad clothes and to beg for food because material reality is a lie or it's evil. Okay? At the same time, you also have these what we call pagan religions or pagan rituals, usually around the cult of Dionysus. Okay, we will talk about this later on in our class. This is very important. But all I want you to remember is these are pagan rituals where people come together and they use psychedelics, they use drugs to get really high in order to increase their religious ecstasy. And this is to create a feeling of oneness, interconnectedness. What's really important of these pagan rituals is to focus on egalitarianism. Okay? So you can be a slave, you can be a rich person, but when you enter these rituals, you're all one and the same. And they reject the social hierarchy of the real world. Okay? So a secret layer, which is the secret teachings, an inner layer, which is what the disciples are taught, and then there's a public layer. Okay? So, and what's important for us to understand is these three layers operate at different levels, and they speak different truths, but they're all interconnected. Okay, they're coherent, and they're one and the same. All right. So Jesus was a Gnostic. What does this mean? Let's look at the outer layer. Okay, what Jesus was preaching was a religion of compassion, of forgiveness, of mercy, of egalitarianism. So let's look at Matthew, the Gospel of Matthew. This is from the Sermon on the Mount. Okay, and this is what he says: "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." The people in this world who have value are not the rich, but the poor, because God favors them. If you're a poor person, you will find solace and comfort in this idea. You may be poor, you may not be able to eat enough, but God loves you the most. So what she does is she hides this monster in a different reality, okay? She clouds up this reality. This monster is ignorant of the true reality. So the monster doesn't know that he's a monster, and he thinks he's a god. And he's lonely, so he starts to create the world, us, okay? In the Bible, the monster's name is Yahweh. And he creates Adam and Eve, and he creates the world. And the world is completely screwed up because it's all been created by a monster. Okay? And so this is the origin of sin and corruption and evil in this world, because our God is a monster who is in defiance of the true God. Okay? And that's why blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Because if you're poor, you are defying the material reality. To win in this game created by a monster, you yourself have to become a monster. Therefore, the wealthy, the powerful, are evil people. If you're poor, you don't participate in this evilness, and therefore you are blessed by God. And it was God who will redeem you and reward you at the end of the world.
Okay, you got any feedback on that?
Shalom, brother Leonard. He had said that the Greeks, they had got a lot of this from the Egyptians.
Right.
Okay, right. In that sacred math and all of that. I know Josephus, it's a lot of that code talked about in some of those books. You had us get about Josephus in the New Testament using that.
Right. And notice what he said. We talked about stoicism and all that the other day. He just talked cynicism. That's when you starve yourself to death. And that's why, and he said that's what Jesus was, a cynic. And then you say, what are you talking about? Well, on all the pictures, you see where he bones showing. When he on the cross, they make sure they show you, that he malnourished. That's the reason why there. But the average person don't know nothing about none of that. That's what that is. Yeah, like I said, when you go to Greek religions and study the Greek religions, you're gonna see the Bible, the New Testament come alive, because that's where it comes. That's where the majority of it's coming from Greek thought, which is a lot of it came from Egyptian thought. Okay, so with that being said, we got some need to know information right here. I got like 5 videos on this, but I'll play this one. But I'll give you the information on it in a minute. But it's worth watching, because check it out. So the person behind this channel is a Edomite Israeli woman, and I told you the story on that. They sitting over there with all our records, so they want to make it look like they're doing research, but they actually have access to our records. Okay, check it out. So she's dealing with the book of Enoch. Okay, and we're gonna hear some of the things she's gonna say about it. Okay. Okay.
19th century, the Book of Enoch was little more than a theological rumor, a lost text briefly quoted in Scripture. But for most of Europe, the book itself was gone. At the time, most European scholars assumed the text was either permanently lost or barely considered it relevant anymore. Meanwhile, the Ethiopian church had been preserving it as scripture the entire time, which is awkward because suddenly Europe has to confront the fact that an entire biblical tradition survived outside of its control for over 1,000 years. And once that manuscript landed in Oxford, someone needed to translate it. And that job falls to Richard Lawrence. He's the professor of Hebrew at Oxford, and later he actually becomes the Archbishop of Cashel. He's a Protestant. And these details matter, because this means that the Book of Enoch's re-entry into the English-speaking world was not happening through occult conspiracy channels. It was happening through the academic and theological establishment itself. And so that means that Richard Lawrence became one of the first people responsible for deciding what English speakers are allowed to think the Book of Enoch says, which is a really scary amount of power if you think about it. So naturally, I wanted to see these manuscripts for myself. So I hopped on a plane and got myself into Oxford.
Right. Who can do that?
But what I didn't expect was the deeper I got into this, the less stable this story itself started to feel. So I'm sitting there in an Oxford reading room with the earliest translations of Enoch in front of me, alongside the Ge'ez tradition it came from, physically comparing the wording through Lawrence's notes. Some of the translation differences are minor. Others completely change the feeling of a passage. And one in particular genuinely disturbed me. Because in one place where modern translations smooth the wording into something more manageable, Lawrence's renderings point towards something much darker.
Check this out.
This is in the Book of the Watchers, chapter 10. We're at the part where the Most High, or perhaps Yahweh, we aren't really sure, has been informed of the Watcher's transgression. And he tells his angels, proceed against the bastards and the reprobates, and against the children of fornication. Destroy the children of the Watchers from amongst men. But in Lawrence's earlier wording in his footnotes, he admits that bastards was not the literal translation here. It was actually a strange Ge'ez symbol meaning something closer to biters, blood drinkers, or oppressors. Biters? Blood drinkers? This is where I'm going to get fired up, because the word bastards makes absolutely no sense in the context if you think about it for more than 5 seconds. In both the Ge'ez that I was working with and the Aramaic fragments from the Dead Sea Scrolls, the language repeatedly implies bonding, marriage, taking wives, swearing oaths, entering into unions. The descent of the Watchers is organized. It's intentional. These beings are establishing relationships and households and bloodlines with these human women. So the word bastards is completely ridiculous and socially moralized. It's like the passage got shoved through a much later Victorian filter that was concerned with sexual sin and illegitimacy. But if we step back and we take the literal translation of biters or blood drinkers, then we're pointing somewhere else entirely. Then comes the part that really bothered me. In the Ge'ez, judgment comes upon all, even the righteous. Enoch is prophesying the flood and says in his channeled state, the earth shall be emerged, and all things which are in it perish, while judgment shall come upon all, even upon the righteous. Under normal circumstances, I think we would expect the standard binary. Good people saved, bad people dead. But I think most of us know and understand that pretty much everybody on earth died during the flood, right? However, Enoch is laying it out rather brutally here in the Giez. The righteous are definitely not automatically exempt, and they are to be killed for some reason, along with everybody else. There's no question about it. But then the next line says that peace will be given to the elect. So now we have a question. Who are the elect? Because they are not simply the righteous. They're a separate category, a preserved group. Maybe they're a bloodline, or maybe this is some sort of spiritual category, or maybe they're the Sethite line. Maybe there's something else. But the distinction matters, because if the righteous and the elect are not the same thing, which they're not, as you'll see in a moment, it's giving hierarchy of survival. And that is a completely different theology. Now, if we compare that section to the modern version from Amazon, the righteous are spared. Full stop. Yeah, it literally says the exact opposite of what the Giez says. In chapter 6 and 7, it says the righteous will be spared. There's no mention of the elect. The modern translation has completely removed the distinction. And that is exactly what I mean when I say that our version of Enoch has been cleaned up. The original version says judgment comes on everyone, but the elect are preserved. The easier version says, oh no, don't worry, all the good people live, they don't die, there's nothing to see here. That's a cleaner version. It's also less interesting, and more importantly, it sends a completely different message. And then the elect show up again. And once more, the Giez preserves them as a separate category. The elect possess light, joy, and peace. The elect inherit the earth. Not simply the righteous, not the good guys, the elect. The text keeps intentionally returning to this idea of preserved groups, a marked group, a class of people who survive at the very least or inherit something after judgment. But in the modern copy, the line is, I'm just going to show you. There's even a blank where the category should be. They just didn't type the word elect. Then later it picks up again and mentions the elect inheriting the earth. So the word is not completely gone, but they've chosen to let it flicker in and out so you don't notice the distinction, which is definitely a worse outcome. Now you know, you can see that the category is there, but the translation is not treating it consistently. And if we remove that consistency, the reader cannot track the theology. They can't pick up on structure or patterns. And they can't ask the obvious question. Who are these people? Why are they different?
Okay, what you think? She making any sense?
Shalom, yes, sir. As far as the elect, I say the elect, there's a certain bloodline.
Okay, yeah. It's like she made a couple of good points, but a lot of it is, I think that she confused. She ain't getting it. You know what I mean? She don't have the proper mindset to deal with those scriptures. Okay, but yeah, like I said, it's the name of this channel is Cassie Fox, Kassie Fox. You know, and she got like about 4 or 5 more videos on the book of Enoch, about the book of Enoch. So I'm thinking, you know, it's not gonna do you no good. No, it's not gonna do you no it's not gonna hurt you to check them out. Cause there's some decent points in there, you know what I'm saying, that you can bounce off of. Okay.
Right.
So with that being said, we'll go to, let me play this right quick. Okay. Thought this was pretty interesting. Okay.
There must be a nation called Israel, okay? And Israel is a nation of Jews. And then Israel has something called the temple, because that's where God resides. Okay?
So it says the name of this video is Christian Zionism is the evil plan that they have in place, what we're dealing with right now. And that plan is to force God, Yahweh, to return.
It must have the temple. And then what will happen, according to the Bible, is that the Antichrist, okay, or Satan, lives. Okay? And then there will be an Antichrist, okay, Satan, who will be the great deceiver. He'll pretend to be God, he'll pretend to be Messiah, but he's really Satan. Okay? And then he will launch a war.
So notice they got to have a temple to make all this work.
When all the nations of the world will try to attack Israel. And at this point, Jesus will come back and he will destroy the Antichrist, he will save Israel, and he will usher in 1,000 years of peace. Before, and then 1,000 years later, you'll have the last judgment, where God will judge us to be either worthy or not worthy. If we are worthy, we'll live on forever. Okay? So Christian Zionism intersects with dispensationalist premillennialism. Okay, there are Christian Zionists who believe that, okay, for Jesus to return, we need Israel back, and we need Israel to be in conflict with the Middle East. Okay? So in other words, the Middle East. Okay? Okay. All of them. Okay. So Christian Zionism, I mean, you can make the argument that it's a pretty evil idea. Why? Because you're using the Jewish people as a tool, as a mechanism in order to achieve what they believe, which is the return of Jesus. Okay, does that make sense? Because Christianity believes that if Jesus returns, then all Jews, then Judaism as a religion will cease to exist. 2/3 of all Jews will die in the battle, and the rest, 1/3, will immediately convert to Christianity. Okay? So you can make the argument that Christian Zionism, it's a pretty cynical and a pretty evil idea. Okay? And then from Christian Zionism, we have the idea of Zionism. Okay? And Zionism is the belief among certain Jews that two things, okay? One is that the Jews are the chosen people of God and that Israel is the promised land. And therefore, Jews must return to Israel. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, but what's important is before Christian Zionism came along, Zionism was not, Jews didn't really think this, okay? So it was the Christians who supported this idea of Zionism. And even when this idea came about, which was about 20 years ago, it was an extremely unpopular religion, a very extremely unpopular idea. The reason why is Jews didn't think they were a race of people. They felt they were a religion. Okay? They felt that, okay, I'm in Iraq. Well, guess what? I'm an Iraqi like everyone else. I may have a different belief, but I'm still Iraqi, okay? They didn't put their religion above their nationality or their race. Okay? Do you understand? And Zionism is like, no, being a Jewish person is a race, and therefore you must return to Israel. Okay? The problem with all this is that in Israel, Palestine, it was mainly Arab people. Okay, so there were very few Jewish people, and in fact, Zionism couldn't convince anyone to come to Palestine. Okay, but then of course the Holocaust happened, and after the Holocaust, many Jews started to go to Israel, and in 1948 they established the state of Israel, okay? And the Christian Zionists and the dispensationalists, premillennialists, were very happy with the establishment of Israel because they feel that we've achieved the first step in this plan to bring Jesus back, okay? Okay, does that make sense? Okay?
How the fuck can I get a dick bigger than that horse just by using gelatin?
Okay. You got any comments on that? Hello?
Oh, shalom. Not really, not yet, brother Lynn.
Okay. So here go main topic right here. That's what I want to deal with. It's Israel panic. I was talking about it over the weekend, over Saturday night and Friday, about how the Democrats and supposedly woke up and they fighting against the fact that they got a bill out there they're trying to pass to merge the Israeli government, the Israeli military with the United States, the U.S. military, and Democrats that came together, and they, as of right now, they spoiled it. But let's check it out. Okay.
Exceedingly rare that I can come out here and give you guys good news, but I am happy to announce, for once, I do have a little bit of good news for you. Now, understand this is conditional. So, in other words, this is subject to change with time because this fight is not over yet. But let me show you this. Look at this. Breaking. Senate Democrats, under the leadership of Chris Van Hollen and Bernie Sanders, unite to block the NDAA, the National Defense Authorization Act, from moving forward because of its provisions to deepen U.S.-Israeli military and intel relations. This is remarkable and further evidence the U.S. is moving away from Israel. Okay, let me show you this. A great development. The Senate voted against the NDAA. It was 50 to 46. They needed 60 votes. It was 50 to 46. It denied Israel a merger with the U.S. And here's the most important part. The 46 who voted in favor should face charges for treason. Okay, they should face charges for treason. And actually, I think this guy slightly misunderstands. I think it was the 50 that voted in favor, but they needed 60, right? So, and by the way, would you like to take a guess which party they belong to? Would you like to take a guess? Virtually every Republican. In fact, I don't know the exact numbers, but like, did Rand Paul break? I'm not sure if he broke. You guys can put it in the comment section below. But the overwhelming majority of Republicans literally voted for something, the textbook definition of treason. So Israel knows, understand why this is happening. Israel knows that, oh shit, Americans hate us now. Oh shit, we're on borrowed time, getting endless money and endless weapons from the US. So what their grand plan is they have Netanyahu going out there now and saying, we don't even want money from the US. We don't even want weapons from the US. We're a big boy nation. We can handle ourselves. And it's a PR move, right? It's a PR move because ultimately they're trying to rush through right now a way to get their claws into our military and our intelligence systems where it becomes impossible to break up with them. It is literally the Peter Thiel strategy from Palantir, where you give them a contract, you open up the door to them, they get so embedded deeply within our government systems that even if a president who means well comes in there and tries to break up with Palantir, Peter Thiel says, that's impossible. We are so deeply embedded in the US government and we have all the information and the data already that you can't break up with us. You are stuck with us. This is the exact same thing that Israel is doing. This is a US military, Israeli military, it's a Mossad takeover of our military, forcing intelligence sharing. And this is a hostile power that doesn't have our best interest in mind. Could you imagine somebody tried this with, I don't know, pick a random country that's theoretically our enemy. If there was somebody who said, we're going to merge the Russian military and Russian intelligence with the U.S. military and U.S. intelligence, you actually would have people screaming, this is fucking treason. This is unacceptable. This is like an attempt to subvert a nation from within, to take away its sovereignty, to take away its independence. But it happens with Israel, barely mentioned on mainstream media, barely fucking mentioned on mainstream media. But again, shout out to Bernie Sanders, shout out to Chris Van Hollen. You have no idea how important it is that they did this. Now, here's the thing, though. This was also blocked, not just for that reason. This was also blocked because it's like over $1 trillion being given to the military-industrial complex to continue the illegal war against Iran. And so the argument was, Trump said to the Congress, okay, we're restarting the war against Iran, so restart the 60-day clock when it comes to the War Powers Act. That was basically what he was saying there. And so the Democratic senators were like, no, fuck that. Like, we're against you continuing this war against Iran. So really, it's a twofold reason why they're blocking it. Now, here's the thing, though. The NDAA, the National Defense Authorization Act, is typically viewed as a must-pass bill because you don't fund the military at all if you don't pass it, right? So the question is now, well, what is going to be taken out of the NDAA and what is going to be put into the NDAA? One thing everybody should insist on, in fact, I would say call your fucking senators right this second and tell them no to the part of the bill that merges the U.S. military and the Israeli military. That is outright treason, and we will remember who voted for it. Tom Cotton was the fucking co-sponsor. He should be in prison today for this. Today. By the way, look how much money he gets from the Israel lobby. I'm sure you'll see some horrifying stuff there as well. But we need not only that taken out of the bill, but obviously we need to strip this thing down because, I mean, it shouldn't be a fucking penny for this illegal war against Iran. First, Trump came out and said, oh, we need 25 billion. Then they upped it to 67 billion. Now Trump's going, we need 350 billion. So they want 350 billion for this illegal war on top of 1.5 trillion that he wants for the overall Pentagon budget. All at the same time, he's literally saying, I don't care about Americans' financial situation. We can't afford daycare. We can't afford healthcare because we got to pay for this war. It's a sick, sick joke. It is a disgusting, disgusting joke. But listen, I'm a big believer in providing incentives for people. So the Democrats who voted the right way on this, all the credit in the world to them. In fact, you should call them and thank them if your senator voted to block this. Tell them to stand strong. Tell them hell no on merging the U.S. military and the Israeli military. And also hell no on funding this war any further. Do not fund this fucking war. Not a penny for this war. This is an illegal war of aggression against an innocent country that didn't fucking attack us. Enough of this bullshit. We can find trillions of dollars in our fucking couch cushions to bomb kids in schools, but we can't find the money for universal health care or free college or a living wage. I mean, what a sick, sick joke this is, man. It's disgusting. While we're on the topic, let me show you this as well. Democrat Hakeem Jeffries has said he will oppose the bid to cut off U.S. aid to Israel. There's a slightly separate topic. There's a Massey Amendment which cuts off U.S. aid to Israel. And you have a whole bunch of Democrats have come out and said, I'm in favor of cutting off all U.S. aid to Israel. They've sensed the shifting opinion among the Democratic base. I believe it's nearly 80% of the Democratic base thinks Israel committed a genocide and wants to cut off U.S. money and weapons to Israel. So it's like, it's not really up in the air. It's a very black and white issue among the Democratic base. Democrats are united on saying fuck no to genocide and fuck no to more weapons to the people doing the genocide. But here you have Democratic leadership, Hakeem Jeffries coming out and saying, no, I oppose the attempt to cut off U.S. aid to Israel. Why? Well, you can see right here. Oh, look at that. He's taken $1.7 million from the Israel lobby. I wonder if that has something to do with it. I wonder if that has something to do with it. Now, I don't have the exact numbers right now. By the time this drops, we may know the exact number, though, to be fair. But I think there's speculation it's in the high 200s or maybe over 300 Democrats that are going to say, no, we want to cut off all U.S. aid to Israel, which is phenomenal. But make no mistake about it. This is betrayal from Hakeem Jeffries. It's absolute betrayal. And you have J Street, right? And by the way, step down, Hakeem Jeffries, step down. Like you're in no position to be the leader of the Democratic Party. You don't represent the Democratic base. Like this is not like a wacky concept or anything. The Democratic leader should represent the will of the Democratic base, right? But then you also have this group J Street, which is liberal Zionists, and J Street released a statement where they basically said, we're with the people who want to cut off U.S. aid to Israel, but we're also standing with the people who want to continue U.S. aid to Israel. So we have no morals. We have no core. We believe in absolutely nothing. You're just announcing, yeah, whatever. We're for good things and bad things. the permanent daylight saving bill, which basically means that we would stop changing the clocks and we would keep the clocks permanently on daylight saving time, which is just a fancy way of saying it will stay lighter later throughout the year. I fucking love this. This would mean that in the winter, the sun wouldn't set at fucking 4 o'clock in the afternoon anymore, right? It would set at 5 o'clock, the earliest. And so here's the thing. The Senate already passed this bill in a previous session, okay? I don't know all the specifics and the way it works, but my guess is they're saying this new bill that got through the House has to also get through the Senate. So I guess they have to repass basically the same bill that they had passed previously. But the House passed it overwhelmingly, by the way. The Senate will probably pass it, okay? And then Trump has said he'll sign it. So, you know, there are many people on the right who would probably look at me and call me a hack for the simple reason that I've repeatedly stated there's not a single fucking thing Trump has done that's positive in his second term. At least in the first term, I could point to, you know, pardoning Alice Johnson, doing the First Step Act. There were certain things where it's like, okay, I'll take that. That's good. He banned bump stocks on guns. There were a number of things. Okay, those are good. I'll give credit where credit is due. There's been nothing in the second term. Literally nothing. Nothing at all. Nothing. Zero. Zilch. Nada. Okay? This would be the first thing where I would give him credit. If the House already passed it, if the Senate passes it and Trump signs it, and we get rid of daylight saving time, that is a massive, massive W. And people who face whatever they call seasonal depression these days, I know it has a different term that they use, but people who face that would feel a lot better. So, and also all the statistics show, all the numbers show that, like, if you stop changing the clocks, there's societal upsides all over the place, right? There's, like, you know, all sorts of problems happen when you change the clocks. The only downside is people say, oh, it'll be a little darker in the morning when kids wait for school, you know, at the school bus stop. Yeah, I can understand that might be an issue, but there are just way more issues with changing the clock. So we'll see. Hopefully that gets through as well. But
yeah. So you got anything on that? What you think?
Brother Leonard, I'm more curious to. I just have a question about the daylight savings, but I want to know what you think about all this. But my question is about the daylight savings. How can they change? How can they change that to where it's lighter in the wintertime?
They just set the clock back. Whether they go up or back, up or down, it's
okay.
The evening or the morning. But what they want is they want to keep it where it's at now, where you got more daylight.
Mm-hmm.
So they want to keep it there. So we know for the longest they've been having where certain time of the year they go back to the other where it get is dark in the morning, I think, and it's get darker quicker. But right now, this time of the year is where it get light in the morning, and then it's more daylight in the evening, and that's where they want to keep it at. They're saying that's what they came. The government that came to the conclusion they're going to keep it like that because of the other way, saying it's having a lot of effect on people psychologically, mentally. So they come to the conclusion to just keep it where it's at right now, with more daylight in the evening time. Okay.
Right. Okay. Well, you just told me what's the point to that, but I had seen something where they were talking about selling sunlight. So I didn't know if this was a part of that. That's why I had. But I had to find that clip, Brother Leonard. I had seen it on YouTube.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You did something?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You got anything else on that?
Oh, and but about the Democrats blocking it, blocking the army combining.
Right.
Could this have like lead to kind of like a civil war? Because they made it a thing to say that it was the Democrats, who did it.
Right. Yeah, you can say that, but me looking at it, when you understand, like I was saying, how long these people, this over in Israel that's posing as Israelites, how long they been. They behind a lot, most of the chaos and the drama in the world. Like I said, they go. You can trace them all the way back to when Julius Caesar was killed in the Senate. These are the same people. They just a different world, different era. But we got a Senate. They same people. Was causing all the drama back then. They the ones causing all the drama now. They the ones doing all the killing. So my thing is this: when you understand what the plan they have in place and how major it is, and they in the end game part of it, and merging the militaries is a major part of what they got going on in these last days. So the guy was talking about how those 50 Republican senators need to write their names down, and they need to be convicted, put in for treason, right?
Right.
So I would say, don't think the Israelis ain't got the Democrats wrote down.
Right. Of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, you're gonna start seeing a whole bunch of stuff going on. And another thing about understanding how they are and the situation they in now with what Iran doing to them because of America and backing off of them. That's gonna cause them to do something very real sinister, like use a nuclear weapon.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, you guys. So like I was saying, when a lot of people don't understand where we at in the world and the pressure. We in the middle of a pressure cooker. So any day, anytime now, anything can pop off. Okay. Got anything else on that?
Shalom, no sir.
Okay. We're gonna read out of the Numbers. We're gonna read our 5 chapters. We're gonna read chapters from chapters 31, Numbers 31 to number to it's 36 chapters in Numbers. So we're gonna go ahead and read these last 6 chapters.
Okay, right. All right. 31. Israel wars with the Midianites. And the
Okay.
Yes, sir. And the Lord spake unto Moses, avenge the children of Israel of the Midianites. Afterward shalt thou be gathered unto thy people. And Moses spake unto the people, saying, arm some of yourselves unto the war, and let them go against the Midianites, and avenge the Lord of Midian. Of every tribe 1,000 throughout all the tribes of Israel shall ye send to the war. So there were delivered out of the thousands of Israel, thousands of every tribe, 12,000 armed for war. And Moses sent them to the war, 1,000 every tribe, them and Phinehas, the son of Eleazar the priest, to the war with the holy instruments and the trumpets to blow in his hand. And they warred against the Midianites. And the Lord commanded Moses, and they slew all the males, and they slew the king, and they slew the kings of Midian beside the rest of them that were slain, namely Evi, Rakim, Zur, and Hur, and Reba, 5 kings of Midian. Balaam, also son of Beor, they slew with the sword. And the children of Israel took all the women of Midian captives and their little ones, and took the spoil of all their cattle and all their flocks and all their goods. And they burnt all their cities wherein they dwelt, and all their goodly castles with fire. And they took all the spoil and all the prey, both men and of beasts. And they brought the captives and the prey and the spoil unto Moses and Eleazar the priest, and unto the congregation of Israel, unto the camp at the plains of Moab, which are by Jordan near Jericho. And Moses and Eleazar the priest and all the princes of the congregation went forth to meet them without the camp. And Moses was wroth with the officers of the host, with the captains over thousands and the captains over hundreds. which came from the battle. And Moses said unto them, have you saved all the women alive? Behold, these caused the children of Israel through the counsel of Balaam to commit trespass against the Lord in the matter of Peor. And there was a plague among the children, among the congregation of the Lord. Now, therefore, kill every male among the little ones, and every woman that hath known man by lying with him. But all the woman children that have not known a man by lying with him, keep alive for yourselves. And do ye abide without the camp 7 days. Whosoever hath killed any person, and whosoever have touched any slain, purify both yourselves and your captives on the 3rd day and on the 7th day, and purify all your raiment and all that is made of skins and all that is made of goat's hair and all things made of wood. And Eleazar the priest said unto the men of war which went to the battle, this is the ordinance which the Lord commanded Moses. Only the gold and the silver, the brass and the iron, the tin and the lead, everything that may abide the fire, you shall make it go through the fire, and it shall be clean. Nevertheless, it shall be purified with the water of separation, and all that abideth not the fire, you shall make go through the water. And you shall wash your clothes on the 7th day, and you shall be clean. And afterward, you shall come into the camp. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, take the sum of the prey that was taken, both of man and of beast, thou and Eleazar the priest, and the chief fathers of the congregation, and divide the prey into 2 parts between them that took the war upon them, who went out to the battle, and between all the congregation, and levy a tribute unto the Lord of the men of war, which went out to battle, 1 soul of 500, both of the persons, and of the beeves, and of the asses, and of the sheep. Take it of their half, and give it unto Eleazar the priest for an heave offering of the Lord. And of the children of Israel's half, thou shalt take 1 portion of 50 of the persons, of the beeves, the asses, and of the flocks, of all manner of beasts, and give them unto the Levites, which keep the charge of the tabernacle of the Lord. And Moses and Eleazar the priest did as the Lord commanded Moses. And the booty, being the rest of the prey which the men of war had caught, was 600,000 and 70,000 and 5,000 sheep, and 60,012 beeves, and 60,001 asses, and 32,000 persons in all, of women that had not known man by lying with him. And the half, which was the portion of them that went out to war, was in number 300,000 and 30,500 sheep. And the Lord's tribute of the sheep was 615, and the beeves were 36,000. Of the Lord's tribute was 312, and the asses were 30,500, of which the Lord's tribute was 301, and the persons were 16,000. Of the Lord's tribute was 32 persons. Moses gave the tribute which was the Lord's heave offering unto Eleazar the priest, as the Lord commanded Moses. And of the children of Israel's half, which Moses divided from the men that warred, now the half that pertained to the congregation was 300,000 and 30,000 and 7,500 sheep, and 36,000 beeves, and 30,000 asses, and 516,000 persons, even of the children of Israel's half. Moses took 1 portion of 50, both of man and of beast, and gave them unto the Levites, which kept the charge of the tabernacle of the Lord, as the Lord commanded Moses. And the officers, which were over thousands of the host, the captains of the thousands and captains of hundreds, came near unto Moses. And they said unto Moses, Thy servants have taken the sum of the men of war which are under our charge, and there lacketh now one man of us. We have therefore brought an oblation for the Lord, what every man hath gotten of jewels of gold, chains and bracelets, rings, earrings, and tablets, to make an atonement for our souls before the Lord. And Moses and Eleazar the priest took the gold of them, even all the wrought jewels, and all the gold of the offering that they offered up to the Lord of the captains of thousands and of the captains of hundreds was 16,750 shekels. For the men of war had taken spoil, every man for himself. And Moses and Eleazar the priest took the gold of the captains of thousands and the captains of hundreds, and brought it into the tabernacle of the congregation for a memorial for the children of Israel before the Lord. And shalom. That was Numbers chapter 31.
Okay, you got any feedback on
Uh, Brother Leonard, in reading this again, I guess I didn't realize that they wiped the Midianites completely out
that? Right.
at this point. Right. I don't think I realized that in reading this before. And then
Okay.
it told them keep the virgins for themselves.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't remember reading that either.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, I wanted to shine light on verse 50.
Verse 50.
It
Okay.
says, it says, okay, I'll read 49. And they said unto Moses, Thy servants have taken the sum of the men of war, which are under us, the men of war, the sum of the men of war, which are under our charge, and there lacketh not one man of us. We have therefore brought an oblation for the Lord, which every man have gotten. That every man, they spoiled them, right? So it says that every man have gotten of jewels, of gold, chains, bracelets, rings, earrings, tablets, to make an atonement for our souls before the Lord. Okay, that don't ring no bell. That, you read that?
Oh, the servant got to do this, right?
Okay, check it out. Get this out the way right quick. Okay, if you go back to Isaiah right quick, I mean, we'll go forward to Isaiah right quick. I had talked about this before, but I hadn't realized this verse right here until just now. I think I dealt with it before, but more so right now. Okay. Okay, I'm in Isaiah chapter 3, verse 16. You there?
Isaiah 3:16.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Well, so this is the judgment on the daughters of Zion, right?
Okay.
Moreover, the Lord has said, because the daughters of Zion are haughty, and they walk with stretched forth necks, routine eyes, walking and mincing as they go, and making a tingling with their feet. Therefore the Lord will smite thee. See, you're gonna see why he did it. Therefore the Lord will smite thee, smite with a scab the crown of thy head of the daughters of Zion, and the Lord will discover their secret parts, right? In that day the Lord will take away, here you go, the Lord will take away the bravery of their teeming ornaments about their feet, and their coils, and their round tires like the moon, the chains, the bracelets, the mufflers, the bonnets, the ornaments, and the legs, and the headbands, and the tablets, and the earrings, the rings, nose jewels, uh, the changeable suits of apparel, and the muffled mantles, and the wimples, and the crisping pins, the glasses, the fine linen, and the hoods, and the veils. So where they get it from? Where they get all this from?
Right, the
The
Levite
Egyptians
males. I mean the Israelite males.
doing
So
war.
right, the spoil.
Right? Right. That's what they just got. Like what he just mentioned in Numbers 31 and 50. See that?
Right, yes, sir.
And they decided themselves, not understanding what the cost was for them to get that, how they got it. And they
Mm,
decided themselves. You see that?
right, okay.
And so he says, if you keep reading, like I said, a lot of people don't do that. 24. And it shall come to pass that instead of a sweet smell, there shall be stench. And instead of a girdle, a rent. And instead of a well set hair, baldness. And instead of a stomacher, a girding of sackcloth. And a burning instead of a beauty. Now here you go. The men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty in war. So in order for them to have that, the Most High had to preserve the men, right?
Right,
And the Most High, the guy just said right here, 49, they said unto Moses, thy servants have taken the sum of the men of war which are under our charge, and there lacketh not one man. Not one man got killed.
right,
Okay. But over here, because of the way they doing, now he says in 25, he gonna kill the men.
mm,
See that?
right, yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, so you gonna read 32?
Sir. And Reuben and Gad's inheritance. Now the children of Reuben and the children of Gad had a very great multitude of cattle. And when they saw the land of Jazer and the land of Gilead, that behold, the place was a place for cattle, the children of Gad and the children of Reuben came and spake unto Moses and to Eleazar the priest and unto the princes of the congregation, saying, Ataroth and Dibon and Jazer and Nimrod and Heshbon and Eliah and Shabam and Nebo and Beon, even the country which the Lord smote before the congregation of Israel, is a land for cattle, and thy servants have cattle. Wherefore, said they, if we have found grace in thy sight, let this land be given unto thy servants for a possession, and bring us not over Jordan. And Moses said unto the children of Gad and to the children of Reuben, shall your brethren go to war, and shall you sit here? And wherefore discourage ye the heart of the children of Israel from going over into the land which the Lord hath given them? Thus did your fathers when I sent them from Kadesh Barnea to see the land. And when they went up onto the valley of Eshcol and saw the land, they discouraged the heart of the children of Israel that they should not go into the land which the Lord had given them. And the Lord's anger was kindled the same time, and he sware, saying, surely none of the men that came up out of Egypt from 20 years old and upward shall see the land which I swear unto Abraham, unto Isaac, and unto Jacob, because they have not wholly followed me, save Caleb the son of Jephunneh the Kizanite, and Joshua the son of Nun, for they have wholly followed the Lord. And the Lord's anger was kindled against Israel, and he made them wander in the wilderness 40 years, until all the generation that had done evil in the sight of the Lord was consumed. And behold, ye are risen up in your father's stead, an increase of sinful men to augment yet the fierce anger of the Lord towards Israel. And if ye turn away from after him, he will yet again leave them in the wilderness, and ye shall destroy all this people. And they came near unto him and said, we will build sheepfolds here for our cattle and sit in cities for our little ones, but we ourselves will go ready, armed, before the children of Israel, until we have brought them onto their place. And our little ones shall dwell in the fenced cities because of the inhabitants of the land. We will not return unto our houses until the children of Israel have inherited every man his inheritance, for we will not inherit with them on yonder side Jordan or forward, because our inheritance is fallen to us on this side of the Jordan eastward. And Moses said unto him, if you will do this thing, if you will go armed before the Lord to war, and will go, all of you, armed over Jordan before the Lord, until he have driven out his enemies from before him, and the land be subdued before the Lord. Then afterward you shall return and be guiltless before the Lord and before Israel, and this land shall be your possession before the Lord. But if you will not do so, behold, you have sinned against the Lord, and be sure your sin will find you out. Build you cities for your little ones and folds for your sheep, and do that which hath proceeded out of your mouth. And the children of Gad and the children of Reuben spake unto Moses, saying, your servants will do as my Lord commandeth. Our little ones, our wives, and our flocks, and our cattle shall be there in the cities of Gilead, but thy servants will pass over, every man armed for war before the Lord to battle, as my Lord saith. So concerning them, Moses commanded Eleazar the priest, and Joshua the son of Nun, and the chief fathers of the tribes of the children of Israel. And Moses said unto them, if the children of Gad and the children of Reuben will pass over with you over Jordan, every man armed to battle before the Lord, the land shall be subdued before you. Then you shall give them the land of Gilead for a possession. But if they will not pass over with you armed, they shall have possessions among you in the land of Canaan. And the children of Gad and the children of Reuben answered, saying, as the Lord hath said unto thy servants, so will we do. We will pass over armed before the Lord into the land of Canaan, that the possession of our inheritance on this side of the Jordan may be ours. And Moses gave unto them, even to the children of Gad and to the children of Reuben, and unto the half tribe of Manasseh, the son of Joseph, the kingdom of Sion of the Amorite, the kingdom of Sion, king of the Amorites, and the kingdom of Og, king of Bashan, the land with the cities thereof, and the coast, even the cities of the country round about. And the children of Gad built Dibon and Ataroth and Aror and Atroth, Shofan and Jazer and Jogbeha and Beth Nimrah and Beth Haran, fenced cities and folds for sheep. And the children of Reuben built Heshbon and Eliah and Kerath, Kerathim and Nebo and Bar Meon, their names being changed, and Sheba, and gave other names unto the cities which they builded. And the children of Mashir, the son of Manasseh, went to Gilead and took it, and disposed the Amorite which was in it. And Moses gave Gilead unto Mashir, the son of Manasseh, and he dwelt therein. And Jar, the son of Manasseh, went and took the small towns thereof, and called them Havoth Jar. And Noba went and took Kenneth and the villages thereof, and called it Noba after his name. And Shalom, that was Numbers chapter 32.
Okay, you got anything on
Shalom, brother Leonard. Just right here, when I remember we was reading one time, I can't remember which book, but I know it's in the First Kings or the Chronicles, when one of the kings of Assyria, since they're on this side of the Jordan, I remember reading that it's easier to get to them coming from Assyria, and I can't remember what they did to be eating this now. When we had read that, this wasn't on my mind, like just how their land is set up.
Right.
Yeah, how they didn't cross the waters. Yes, sir.
Okay. You're gonna read 33. I'll read the other three.
Okay, right. And the record of wilderness journeys, and these are the
Mhm.
journeys of the children of Israel, which went forth out of the land of Egypt with their armies under the hand of Moses and Aaron. And Moses wrote their goings out according to their journeys by the commandment of the Lord. And these are their journeys according to their goings out. And they departed from Ramesses in the first month fifth on the 15th day of the first month. On the morrow after the Passover, the children of Israel went out with a high hand in the sight of all the Egyptians. For the Egyptians buried all their firstborn, which the Lord had smitten among them. Upon their gods also the Lord executed judgments. And all the children of Israel removed from Ramesses and pitched in Succoth. And they departed from Succoth and pitched in Etham, which is in the edge of the wilderness. And they removed from Etham and turned again into Pi Harath, which is before Baal Zephon. And they pitched before Migdal. And they departed from before Pi Harath and passed through the midst of the sea into the wilderness. And they went 3 days' journey into the wilderness of Etham and pitched at Marah. And they removed from Marah and they came unto Elam. And in Elam were 12 fountains of water. And there 12 fountains of water and 60 palm and they pitched there. And they removed from Elam and encamped by the Red Sea. And they removed from the Red Sea and encamped in the wilderness of Sin. And they took their journey out of the wilderness of Sin, and they encamped in Dophka. And they departed from Dophka and encamped in Alush. And they removed from Alush and encamped at Rephidim, where was no water for the people to drink. And they departed from Rephidim and pitched in the wilderness of Sinai. And they removed from the desert of Sinai and pitched at Kibroth Hatava. And they departed from Kibroth Hatava and encamped at Hazeroth. And they departed from Hazeroth and pitched in Rithma. And they departed from Rithma and pitched at Ramon Perez. And they departed from Ramon Perez and pitched in Libnah. And they removed from Libnah and pitched at Rissa. And they journeyed from Rissa and pitched in K Lahatha. And they went to K Lahatha and pitched in Mount Schafer. And they removed from Mount Schafer and encamped at Harada. And they removed from Harada and pitched in Makaloth. And they removed from Makaloth and encamped at Tahath. And they departed from Tahath and pitched at Tara. And they removed from Tara and pitched in Mithka. And they went from Mithka and pitched in Hasmona. And pitched in Hasmona. And they departed from Hasmona and encamped at Masheroth. And they departed from Masheroth and pitched in Bene Jacan. And they removed from Bene Jacan and encamped at Hor Haggadah. And they removed from Hor Haggadah and pitched at Jotbathah. And they removed from Jotbathah and encamped at Ebrana. And they departed from Ebrana and encamped at Ezion Gabber. And they removed from Ezion Gabber and pitched in the wilderness of Zin, which is Kadesh. And they removed from Kadesh and pitched in Mount Hor, in the edge of the land of Edom. Okay. And Aaron the priest went up into Mount Hor at the commandment of the Lord and died there. In the 40th year after the children of Israel were come out of the land of Egypt, in the first day of the 5th month. And Aaron was 123 years old when he died in Mount Hor. And King Eric the Canaanite, which dwelt in the south in the land of Canaan, heard of the coming of the children of Israel. And they departed from Mount Hor and pitched in Zalmona. And they departed from Zalmona and pitched in Punin. And they departed from Punin and pitched in Obith. And they departed from Obith and pitched in Irjay Barim on the border of Moab. And they departed from Eam and they pitched in Debon Gad. And they removed from Debon Gad and encamped in Alman Diblahim. And they removed from Alman Diblahim and pitched in the mountains of Abarim before Nebo. And they departed from the mountains of Abarim and pitched in the plains of Moab by Jordan near Jericho. And they pitched by Jordan from Beth Jezemoth even on to Abel Shittim in the plains of Moab, ordered to drive out the Canaanites. And the Lord spoke unto Moses in the plains of Moab by Jordan near Jericho, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When you are passed over Jordan into the land of Canaan, then you shall drive out all the inhabitants of the land from before you, and destroy all their pictures, and destroy all their molten images, and quite pluck down all the high places, and you shall possess the inhabitants of the land and dwell therein, for I have given you the land to possess it. And you shall divide the land by lot for an inheritance among your families, and to the more you shall give the land more inheritance, and to the fewer you shall give less inheritance. Every man's inheritance shall be in the place where his lot falleth, according to the tribes of your fathers, you shall inherit. But you shall not drive out the inheritance of the land from before you, then it shall come to pass that those which you let remain of them shall be pricks in your eyes and thorns in your sides, and shall vex you in the land wherein you dwell. Moreover, it shall come to pass that I shall do unto you as I thought to do unto them. And shalom. That was Numbers chapter 33.
Got anything?
But Leonard, that was the warning right there, right? To
Yeah,
completely, annihilate them.
right. And we know he didn't. We see what happened.
Yes, sir.
The same. Another thing about over in 32, if you look at that, you can see that this is at least the wars of the Lord. We always talk about the book, the wars of the Lord.
Right, sir.
And he was telling them that I would go over and destroy them. So he the one doing all of it. They following him. He said, if you go over armed and follow me, see what I'm saying? So that's how
Right.
you rightly divide the wars of the Lord. So it's the Lord that's warring with these Canaanites
Right.
on behalf of Israel. Right.
Yes, sir.
So I'm in chapter 34. Says it's the borders of Canaan. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Command the children of Israel, and say unto them, When ye come into the land of Canaan, this is the land that shall fall unto you for inheritance, even the land of Canaan, with the coast thereof. Then your south quarters shall be from the wilderness of Zin, along the coast of Edom, and your south border shall be outmost coast of the South Sea eastward, and your border shall then from the south to the ascent of Akrabim, and pass on to Zin, and going forth, therefore shall ye be from the south of Kidash Barnea, and shall go on to Hazar Adar, and pass on to Asman, and the border shall fetch a compass from Aslan unto the river of Egypt, and the going out of it shall be at the sea. And as for the western border, ye shall even have the great sea for a border. This shall be your west border, and this shall be your north border. From the great sea ye shall point out for you Mount Hor. From Mount Hor ye shall point out your border unto the entrance of Hamath, and the going forth of the border shall be to Zedad, and the border shall go on to Zepron, and the going out of it shall be at Hazanon. This shall be your north border, and ye shall point out your east border from Hazanon to Shephen, and the coast shall go down from Shephen to Riblah on the east side of Ain, and the border shall descend and shall reach unto the sea, to the side of the sea of Chinnereth eastward, and the border shall go down to Jordan, and the goings out of it shall be at the South Sea. This shall be your land with the coast thereof round about. And Moses commanded the children of Israel, saying, This is the land which ye shall inherit by lot, which the Lord commanded to give unto the land to the 9 tribes and of the half tribe. For the tribe of the children of Reuben according to the house of their fathers, and the tribe of the children of Gad according to the house of their fathers have received their inheritance, and the half tribe of Manasseh have received their inheritance. The 2 tribes and the half tribe have received their inheritance on this side of the Jordan, near Jericho, eastward toward the sunrise. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, These are the names of the men which shall divide the land unto you: Eleazar the priest, Joshua the son of Nun, and ye shall take one prince of every tribe to divide the land by inheritance. And the names of the men are these: of the tribe of Judah, Caleb the son of Jephunneh; tribe of the tribe of the children of Simeon, Shemuel the son of Ammiel; of the tribe of Benjamin, Elad, and the son of Cheslin; and the prince of the tribe of the children of Dan, Bucker the son of Jali; and the prince of the children of Joseph, for the tribe of the children of Manasseh, Haniel the son of Ephah; and the prince of the tribe of the children of Ephraim, Chemiel the son of Shipton; and the prince of the tribe of the children of Zebulun, Elisaphan the son of Pornai; and the prince of the tribe of the children of Issachar, Pethael the son of Azan; and the prince of the tribe of the children of Asher, Ahihud the son of Shilumi; and the prince of the tribe of the children of Tali, Pidahel the son of Ammihud. These are they whom the Lord commanded to divide the inheritance unto the children of Israel in their land in the land of Canaan. So that was verse 34. So I was talking, I think it was maybe yesterday, and we was talking about how that in the scriptures, the God of Israel, His name, and when they talked to these angels, they was saying their names, right?
Right, exactly. Yes, sir.
So right here, he giving the children of Israel, more specifically Moses and Joshua, the names of the men, the princes that's over every tribe, right? That's gonna give out their allotment, right?
Sure.
How much more so we gonna if you mention these Negroes' name, how much more so you gonna mention these angels?
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Sure.
Yeah, let that permeate. It says in the Lord spake, I'm in 35. When the Lord spake unto Moses in the plains of Moab by the Jordan near Jericho, saying, command the children of Israel that they give unto the Levites of the inheritance of their possession cities to dwell in, and ye shall give also unto the Levites suburbs for the cities round about them, and the children shall, and the cities shall they have to dwell in, and the suburbs of them shall be for their cattle, and for their goods, and for all their beasts. And the suburbs of the cities which ye shall give unto the Levites shall reach from the wall of the city and outward 1,000 cubits round about. And he said, he shall measure from without the city on the east side toward 2,000 cubits, and on the south side 2,000 cubits, and on the west side 2,000 cubits, and on the north side 2,000 cubits. And the city shall be in the midst. This shall be to them the suburbs of the city, and among the cities which ye shall give unto the Levites, there shall be 6 cubits, 6 cities for refuge, which ye shall appoint for the manslaughter, that ye may flee thither, and to them ye shall add 40 and 2 cities. So all the cities which he shall give to the Levites shall be 40 and 8 cities. Them shall ye give with their suburbs. And the cities which ye shall give shall be of the possession of the children of Israel. From them that have many ye shall give many, but from them which have few ye shall give few. Everyone shall give of his cities unto the Levites according to their inheritance, which he inherited. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, when ye be come over the Jordan into the land of Canaan, then ye shall appoint you cities to be cities of refuge for you, that the slayer may flee thither, which killeth any person at unaware. And they shall be unto you cities of refuge from the avenger, that the manslaughter die not, unto he stand before the congregation in judgment. And of these cities which ye shall give, 6 cities shall ye have for refuge. Ye shall give 3 cities on this side of the Jordan, 3 cities ye shall in the land of Canaan, which shall be the cities of refuge. These 6 cities shall be a refuge. But for the children of Israel, and for the stranger, and for the sojourner among them, that everyone that killeth any person unawares may flee thither. And if he smite him with an instrument of iron, so that he die, he is a murderer, and the murderer shall surely be put to death. And if he smite him with throwing of a stone, wherewith he may die, and he die, he is a murderer. The murderer shall surely be put to death. Or, excuse me, or if he smite him with a hand weapon of wood, wherewith he may die, and he die, he is a murderer. The murderer shall surely be put to death. The revenger of blood himself shall slay the murderer when he meeteth him, and he shall slay him. But if he thrust him, of hatred, or hurl at him by laying of weight, that he die, or in enmity smite him with his hand, that he die, he that smite him shall surely be put to death, for he is a murderer. The avenger of blood shall slay the murderer, or when he meeteth him. But if he trusted him suddenly without enmity, or have cast upon him anything without laying of weight, or with any stone wherewith a man may die, seeing him not, okay, and cast it upon him that he died, and was not his enemy, neither sought his harm. Then the congregation shall judge between the slayer and the revenger of blood according to these judgments. And the congregation shall deliver the slayer out of the hand of the revenger of blood, and the congregation shall restore him to the city of his refuge, whether he fled, and he shall abide in it until the death of the high priest, which was anointed with the holy oil. But if the slayer shall at any time come without the borders of the city of refuge, whether he would fled, and the revenger of blood find him without the borders of the city of refuge, and the revenger of blood kill the slayer, he shall not be guilty of blood, because he shall have remained in the city of his refuge until the day of the high priest. But after the death of the high priest, the slayer shall return into the land of his possession. The law concerning bloodshed. So these things shall be for a statute of judgment unto you throughout the generations in all your dwellings. Whosoever killeth any person, the murderer shall be put to death by his mouth, by the mouth of a witness. But one witness shall not testify against any person to cause him to die. Moreover, ye shall take no satisfaction for the life of a murderer, which is guilty of death, but he shall be surely put to death. And ye shall take no satisfaction for him that is fled to the city of his refuge, that he should come again to dwell in the land which the death of the priest, until the death of the priest. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood is defiled the land, and the land cannot be cleansed for the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shedded it. Defile not therefore the land which ye shall not inherit, wherein dwelleth, for I the Lord dwelleth among the children of Israel. So that was Numbers 35. You got anything on that?
Shalom, brother Leonard, that last verse, he said, I the Lord dwell among the children of Israel.
Right,
Right in there. So he's there, like in spirit and physically, right?
right,
Okay.
exactly. So yeah, I'm in 36. The law of the female inheritance, and the chief fathers for the families of the children of Gilead, the son of Machir, the son of Manasseh, of the families of the sons of Joseph, came near and spake before Moses and before the princes of the chief fathers of the children of Israel. And they said, the Lord commanded my Lord to give the land for an inheritance by lot to the children of Israel. And my Lord was commanded by the Lord to give the inheritance of Zilpah had our brother unto his daughters. And if they be married to any of the sons of the other tribes of the children of Israel, then shall their inheritance be taken from the inheritance of our fathers, and shall be put to the inheritance of the tribe wherewith they are received. So shall it be taken from the lot of our inheritance. And when the jubilee of the children of Israel shall be, then shall their inheritance be put into the inheritance of the tribe wherein they are received. So shall their inheritance be taken away from the inheritance of the tribe of our father. And Moses commanded children of Israel according to the word of the Lord, saying, tribe of the son of Joseph have said well, this is the thing which the Lord commanded concerning the daughters of Zephyr, saying, let them marry to whom they think best, only to the families of the tribe of their fathers shall they marry. So shall not the inheritance of the children of Israel move from the tribe to tribe. For every one of the children of Israel shall keep himself to the inheritance of their fathers, of the tribe of their fathers. And every daughter that possesses an inheritance in any tribe of the children of Israel shall be wife unto one of the families of the tribes of her father, that the children of Israel may enjoy every man the inheritance of his fathers. Neither shall the inheritance be removed from one tribe to another tribe, but every one of the tribes of the children of Israel shall keep himself to his own inheritance. Even as the Lord commanded Moses, so did the daughters of Zephaniah. For Mahiah, Tizah, Hagla, Michal, Noah, and the daughters of Zaphat, Zelophehad, were married to their father's brothers' sons, and they were married unto the families of the sons of Manasseh, the son of Joseph, and their inheritance remained in the tribe of the family of their father. These are the commandments and the judgments which the Lord commanded by the hand of Moses unto the children of Israel in the plains of Moab by the Jordan of Jericho. Okay, so that was what we read was Numbers 31 to 36. Okay, please that chapter. Okay, so with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna open it up. You're gonna send the link out or whatever you got to do. We're gonna open it up for some Q&A. If anybody got anything you want to bring up from yesterday or the day before, or doing any research, we can deal with it right here, right now.
Shalom, brother Leonard. Can I ask you about is the Lord of hosts or the Most High, are they omnipresent? I think that's how you say it.
Oh yeah, what you mean omnipresent?
Be I think that means to like be everywhere at one time.
Oh no. They de facto. They are de facto. Mind, body, and spirit. That's why. You got all kind of examples because even when Gabriel came, Daniel said Gabriel came flying swiftly about the time of the evening sacrifice, right?
Right.
So that's de facto. That's not. It's not like so. So then when you understand who the eyes of the Lord is, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So these seven angels, when you Most High formed them, he formed them from himself. So when you understand how all that worked, if one of them there, Yahweh there. That's the way to look at that. That's how they come copy with JC when they try to make JC work, because they trying to operate off of our way of life, our order that's set in place, but it don't work like that. That's why when he wrestled with the angel, he said, I wrestled with God, because the angels, those seven angels, is when you understand their origins, they came from Yahweh. You know what I'm saying? And they would say that every time, or even they would say that every time they come in contact with these angels, they would say they saw God, because these angels they represent Him. It tells you that in one of the examples is Zechariah chapter 4, when it says that Zerubbabel the prince is going to come out, and Zerubbabel is going to rebuild the temple, and with the help of those seven, the eyes of the Lord. And then he says, those seven run to and fro in the earth. Not Yahweh, the seven run to and fro in the earth. So anytime somebody encountered them, they actually encounter Yahweh too. But they are the ones that's there de facto. Okay.
Right. And the Elohim.
Right. Elohim, right. Those seven angels. When you say, like I said, Daniel said that at the end of the day, on that last oblation, he was making his last oblation, that Gabriel showed up. So Gabriel is there, but Daniel experienced God, because that is God. He's part of he's a representation of God.
Okay, right. Divine
Yeah.
being. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then Brother Leonard, about what was that again? Oh, about the Noahide laws, that rollout that they were doing.
Right.
The International Congress. In that building though, is that that whole thing going down, was that to be held in Israel, or or were they saying that was in Turkey? When
No, it's in Israel. They have a building that's set up in Israel, in Jerusalem, and that's where they're going to come out in November. They got this big meeting planned in November. Then they're going to implement those Noahide laws from Jerusalem.
and so across they gonna implement those laws over there, right?
Right, in Jerusalem.
Oh, okay.
Right. But so the thing is, like I said, when you understand how it works out in the nation of Israel, how it works, that's what they're trying to duplicate. So what they're actually telling you is it's going to be a serious change, because when they do it from Jerusalem, they're saying that's going to span the whole earth.
Mm.
That's what they indirectly telling you. That's what you have to understand about it. That's why you see all this stuff they got playing about merging their military with America's military and all that. They got us so duped that they can say that, because they figure that there's nothing we can do about it. And that's why I was saying people don't understand the ramifications of what just happened when they fall that vote with about the merging the two countries together with their militaries. Those Edomites, those Jews, they got a problem with that. You're gonna see some repercussions behind it too.
Right. Yeah. Yes, sir. That was another question I was thinking about. What was going to be some of the aftermath of that? Because I'm sure that's not going to sit well with a lot of people that make decisions.
Well, what I would do is focus on the main contributors that caused them to reject the bill. They mentioned Bernie Sanders and a couple other guys, so I keep my eye on them. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, their attendance. See if they come up missing.
Oh yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And
Okay.
then I wouldn't be surprised if they come up with some secret pass it through some kind of secret means. Well, some old crazy shit with Trump, like a executive order, bogus executive order or something. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
So yeah, I was telling you about yesterday. I think it was we just read in, I think it was 31. Let me get it right quick. Number 31. Number 31. Let me get it. You was reading what he said. 7 days. I was telling you about that, how after he told Moses to get two of every kind of animals and all that, bring them in the ark, then he said, yet 7 days.
Hmm.
He rounded the animals up 7 days, kept a Shabbat, then on the 8th day flood, the Most High closed up the door of the ark, and then the rain came on the 8th day. The same way we see how 6 days of creation, he rested on the 7th day, then he made Adam on the 8th day. That's how you get the 8th day man. And I can't remember exactly what I was going to deal with it whenever it was spoken, but it says that on 2 different occasions, no, 31, yeah, it says, I don't see it, but it said that for yet 7 days, he did it, yeah. Okay.
Verse 19, sir, is one of them, I think.
Yeah, it says, and do ye abide without camp 7 days, it is, whosoever have killed any person, and whosoever have touched any slain, purify both yourselves and your captives on the 3rd day and on the 7th day. Yeah,
Mhm.
so that's what that is. Is like I said, yeah, 24. And ye shall wash your clothes on the 7th day, and ye shall be clean, and afterwards ye shall come in from the camp. So 6 days, wash yourself. I mean, yeah, 6 days, keep the Shabbat, then wash yourself on the 3rd day, 8th day. See that?
Sir. Mm-hmm.
And you see it all through scriptures. So ain't nobody gonna come and die on the cross and superimpose that.
Right.
Yeah.
And also, Brother Leonard, one thing that was shown, um, the eighth day man in the circumcision, with that oath being on the 8th day, to
All
me
right.
that
Yeah.
that only makes sense, because how
Well,
come
yeah.
it's not on the 6th day if Adam was the 6th day man?
Right. It goes back to the reason why they being circumcised on that 8th day. That's when he formed that man. And then you understand that lineage that from Adam all the way to Noah. You know, that's that's being circumcised on the 8th day is lining them up with that lineage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Right,
is there something?
sir. And Brother Leonard, when I was reading, what are beeves?
Yeah,
That
I looked it up before. I got to look it up again
okay,
because
yeah,
it's 2 of them. It's one with beeves, and then another one they say leaves.
right.
Leees, and yeah. So we'll check that out. I'm thinking if you go to the Strong's Concordance,
Yeah, because when I was reading, and then I didn't see no numbers bomb when I was
right, it ain't nothing there.
when I was reading, so I was like, okay,
Right.
yeah, but okay, I'm gonna check that out.
You got anything else?
Oh, and one last thing, yes, sir. When I was watching the video you gave out the other day about where the land really is, right? Um about the location of the actual Jerusalem, and just
Mm-hmm.
how in that video they were just talking about Jasher, and how a lot of the locations they got for the information they were talking about in that video they got from Jasher. And one part of it too was the fact that how you always said throughout those captivities, like those 13 or 14 captivities, everybody didn't always go back.
Right.
And then so I was thinking about how Joktan and Peleg, um Joktan, they were saying there was a verse that they read, I think it was Joshua 19, where they said where Joktan's kids lived at, they left that verse out from in the King James, because it said Joktan's. Oh, go ahead.
Now go ahead.
Oh, it had said Joktan's. Uh, his inheritance or whatever, or their land was from Egypt onto the Western Sea. And then in the King James, it don't say that. You know,
Okay.
they left it out. So just something like that, I thought was real interesting. On top of all the other details that they had in the throughout that video, because it was I think it was an hour and some change. But that was just a detail that I even read over in Jasher before. And then,
Right.
but, yes, sir. But I was just thinking about how, like you said, those other captivities that we were in, even before that our forefathers were in before Babylon, and how people didn't always go back. So there were like little settlements, other places on top of Shem's other kids were, along some of those trails too.
Right. Right. And they knew. So when Antiochus came in the situation with Antiochus, they already knew where they can go, places they can go. They had a trail that led from for all the previous captivities. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Even when Cyrus made the commandment, the one that the command fulfilling Daniel 9:25, he said those that want to go back.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Right. Cause okay. Yeah. That want to. Cause some. Right. Cause they stayed. Some stayed where they was
Oh
at.
yeah.
It was cool. Okay.
Right. And then they had relatives and all that, and they knew where they was at. So when drama would come, like when they get Lord fury would boil over, they knew somewhere they can go,
Mm,
they can flee to. You
right.
know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Mm, safe haven.
Uh-huh. And they had a whole trail by the time you get to when the Antioch people came that they knew they can go to. Mm-hmm.
Mm. And then and one last thing, brother Leonard, I wanted to ask you: have you ever heard this? I had just seen this on the internet. I wanted to ask the elder had they heard this. But when it comes to braid designs, um, like how women would have different like designs in their braids. Um,
Uh-huh.
I had seen that they said that in slavery, those were they actually did that for maps,
Okay.
like Underground Railroad kind of things and stuff like that. And even in like West Africa. I seen that online, but I didn't know if that was true or not. But they were showing some of the designs they would have them. It might be some of the swirls or a spiral braid might represent like a bend around the river, or something
Right.
like that.
Yeah, yeah, I heard that too. I saw. I would say yeah,
Okay.
because I mean you got to look at what they was up against. They had to come up with some kind of ways to offset the enemy.
Right. So that's what I would think.
Mm-hmm.
And just how today though, seeing, we think everything is like for vanity,
Mm-hmm.
but something like that was actually, for a purpose, like you said, and for survival.
Right.
So,
Is that something?
sure, thought that was crazy.
Oh, yeah. So you good?
Right, yes, sir. I'm good.
Okay. So with that being said, I'm gonna say shalom to everybody, and we have our Tuesday news briefing, Tanaka news briefing on Tuesday. So see everybody then. It's at 7 to 9 p.m. Okay. Shalom, shalom, and another shalom.
Shalom.
I highly recommend that you get this book and you read it because it's a must that you understand who God head is in the order that's in the Old Testament and Tanakh, because it's not the same as in the New Testament. And when you read this and you get an understanding, then the scriptures open up and then you begin to understand. So I highly recommend that you get this book. It's the Elohim of Israel, and it's a breakdown on the word Elohim and who the God of Israel is and the Godhead.